the questions and answers of the chapter Indigo. So students, the first question is, think and as you read, strike out what is not true in the following. Rajkumar Shukla was first option a sharecropper, second a politician, third a delegate, fourth a landlord. So now the answer is Rajkumar Shukla was not a politician. Rajkumar Shukla was a politician. So strike out what is not true. So we have to strike out which option is not true. He was a poor peasant. He was a poor farmer. So therefore this option second is wrong. Then the next option is Rajkumar Shukla was first poor, second physically strong, third illiterate. So now our answer is physically strong. You know it was there in the text. He was lean and thin person. He was sedated. What actually was used in the story. So therefore this option is wrong. Okay, now we come to the next question, students. So next question for us is, why Rajkumar Shukla described as being resolute? Why he was determined? Why he had come all the way from Champaran district in the hills of Himalayas to Lucknow to speak to Gandhi. Shukla accompanied Gandhi everywhere. Shukla followed him to the ashram near Ahmedabad. For weeks he never left Gandhi's side till Gandhi asked him to meet at Calcutta. So students, so now where the Gandhi went, Rajkumar Shukla followed him. That's why it shows the resoluteness, determination of Rajkumar Shukla. Now next question. Why do you think the servants thought Gandhi to be another peasant? Shukla led Gandhi to Rajendra Prasad's house. The servants knew Shukla as poor young man. Gandhi was also clad in a simple dhoti. He was the companion of a peasant. Hence, the servants thought Gandhi to be another peasant. Now, next question. List the places that Gandhi visited between his first meeting with Shukla and his arrival at Champaran. Gandhi's first meeting with Shukla was at Lucknow. Then he went to Kanpur and other parts of India. He returned to his ashram near Ahmedabad. Later he went to Calcutta, Patna and Muzaffarpur before arriving at Champaran. Now question is, next question. What did the peasant pay the British landlords as rent? What did the British now want instead and why? What would be the impact of synthetic indigo on the price of natural indigo? The peasant paid the British landlords indigo as rent. Now Germany had developed synthetic indigo. So the British landlords wanted money as compensation for being released from the 15% arrangements. The prices of natural indigo would go down due to the synthetic indigo. So student, this pattern is already being discussed in the class. Therefore you know very well. The answer is quite clear. If you have any kind of doubt, you can ask through WhatsApp call or through messages. Or maybe the answer is quite clear. Or a PDF has already been sent to you of this chapter. The events in this part of the text illustrate Gandhi's method of working. Can you identify some instances of this method and link them to his ideas of Satyagraha and non-violence? Answer. Gandhi's politics was intermingled with the day-to-day problems of the millions of Indians. He opposed unjust laws. He was ready to court arrest for breaking such laws and going to jail. The famous Dandi March to break the sword law is another instance. The resistance and disobedience was peaceful and a fight for truth and justice. This was linked directly to his ideas of Satyagraha. So next question, students. So next question is, why did Gandhi agree to a settlement of 25% refund to the farmers? For the answer, for Gandhi, the amount of the refund was less important than the fact that the landlords had been forced to return part of the money and with it part of their prestige too. So he agreed to settlement of 25% refund to the farmers. Now next, how did the episode change the plight of the peasants? Now answer. The peasants were saved from spending time and money on court cases. After some years, the British planters gave up control of their estate. These now reverted to the peasants. Indigo sharecropping disappeared. Next question, students. Why do you think Gandhi considered the Champaran episode to be a turning point in his life? The Champaran episode began as an attempt to ease the sufferings of large number of poor peasants. He got the spontaneous support of thousands of people. Gandhi admits that what he had done was a very ordinary thing. He declared that the British could not order him about in his own country. Hence, he considered the Champaran episode as a turning point in his life. Next question, students. How was Gandhi able to influence lawyers? Give instances. Answer. Gandhi asked the lawyers what they would do if he was sentenced to prison. They said that they had come to advise him. If he went to jail, they would go home. Then Gandhi asked them about the injustice to the sharecroppers. The lawyers had consultations. They came to the conclusion that it would be shameful decision if they went home. So they told Gandhi that they are ready to follow him into jail. So student, this matter we have already been discussed in the classroom. Therefore, I will take the next question. If you have any kind of problem, you can make a call to me or you can ask me through WhatsApp messages. And all things are already quite clear. This chapter, I have discussed with you yesterday and in the class also. And if you have any kind of problem, you can ask. So student, now we had another question. What was the attitude of the average Indian in smaller localities towards advocates of home rule? Home rule. Answer: the average Indian in smaller localities were afraid to Mr. Gandhi at Muzaffarpur railway station at midnight. He had a large body of students with him, shared water from Champaran cave on foot and by conveyance transport to see Gandhi. Muzaffarpur lawyers too called on him means कि mad. A was already greeted Gandhi when he reached Motihari railway station. Thousands of people demonstrated around the courtroom. This shows that ordinary people too contributed to the freedom movement in India. So students, now we come to the next question. Discuss the following. Freedom from fear is more important than legal justice for the poor. Do you think that the poor of India are free from fear after independence? Obviously, there are some problems with the parents still as on today. Many farmers committed suicide. We heard in the news. Still there is a fear and problems. But now we come to the question: for the poor of India means of survival are far more important than freedom or legal justice. I don't think the poor of India are free from fear after independence. The foreign rulers have been replaced by corrupt politicians and self-serving bureaucracy. Our brokers and money lenders have a field day. The situation has improved in cities and towns for the poor, but the poor in the remote villages still fear the big farmers and money lenders. The police and revenue officials are still objects of terror for them. The poor landless workers have to still work hard to make both ends meet. That means they cannot earn 2 times meals. They remain hungry. They committed suicide due to they are not able to repay the loans. So there are so many problems. We often heard here this type of news in the newspaper. Peasants and tenant farmers have to borrow money from rich money lenders on exorbitant rates of interest. Exorbitant means the higher rates, rate of interest, which usually they fail to repay due to failure of monsoon or bad crops. Cases of small farmers committing suicide are quite common. If this is not due to fear, what is the reason?